Brenton, bad news there for Andy Alton.
Yeah, it was a bit of left field for us, I guess. We weren't prepared for that, but yeah, he'll be fine. He'll hopefully be back and ready for September, but had a little operation this morning and hopefully be back soon.
How did it happen?
Just in a marking contest, I think. It's been worrying him a little bit. There was that one, he went back with a flight and got crunched, and then I think just worried him a little bit for the rest of the game, but he played out with it. But yeah, the surgeon found something in the scan, and yeah, it's better to have it operated on now.
A lot's been said about Kurt's brain. Even orthopaedic surgeons are commenting on it. Is it a distraction?
For Kurt and us, no. Kurt's recovering really well. He did some running today, and he's going to get some more tests done this week. We're going to send him home for a couple of days over the weekend, but we expect him to resume training next Monday if all the tests get through okay. But there is a lot of hysteria around at the moment, and there's a lot of people who want to put their 2 bobs worth in, as we assume that they would. And I know we keep calling people externally until we get really bad news, but no, he's fine. He's recovering really well.
How much of uncharted waters is it for Kurt and the club, I guess? Has something to do with?
Listen, we're really confident with the people we've got in place to make the right decision. And as I said, Kurt's recovering really well. He's a bit surprised with how everyone's talking about it, but I know it feels like it's a really big story because it is a bit of greyness still with where it's going to go. But yeah, I assume that he's going to resume training next week and be available to play next weekend. But I guess we'll have to just take our time, and we won't rush the player. And in consultation with the experts, we'll make the correct decision for him.
So it just wasn't worth the risk this week, playing?
No, I don't think so. I think it was pretty easy to call. He's going to get some more testing done in the next few days, and regardless of what that shows, we won't play him this weekend. We'll call that pretty early and give him a couple of quiet days. And as I said, he went for a bit of a light run today and felt really good, and he's recovering really well, and I'm sure he's going to play some really good footy for us again this year.
Obviously, he's already being tested now, and that's come through okay?
Yeah, I mean, the AFL concussion testing that he does as part of the protocol has been fine. So now we just want to make sure, I guess, from Kurt's point of view, and that we make the correct decision, player welfare wise. And yeah, I'm really comfortable that the people we've got doing that are going to make a good decision.
As you said, he's a bit surprised about how everyone's speaking. Haven't noticed his confidence dropping off for him?
No, he's fine. Yeah, he when you get concussed, part of it is you can't read, you can't watch TV. So that's good. He hasn't been able to see anything, you know. And I know it's a big story, and you know, we want to write about it, but honestly, yeah, he's dealing with it really well, and he's sort of shrugging off the doomsdays, I guess. But yeah, at the same time, we've got to make sure we make the right decision, and the players' welfare comes first.
You weren't here at the time, but has the club learned anything from what you went through with Scott Stevens?
Oh, no,
similarities at all?
No, very, very different. Every concussion, I guess, with each individual is treated differently. I guess one thing I learnt this week, there's no severity of a concussion. It's not mild or severe. A concussion is a concussion, and they treat them all, I guess, individually. So, as I said, I'm really confident that our medical team, in consultation with the experts that we have chosen, not who you guys have chosen, are going to make a really good decision.
We've had 3 hits in 5 weeks. What can be done to stop him getting more hits?
If you go back and watch them, they're just wrong place, wrong time. You know, they're just unlucky. It's not anything with how he plays or anything he's doing wrong. It's just you know, Bo Waters just crashed into his head. Another one was in a marking contest where it hit him in the jaw. So you know, I don't think he's going to be wearing a helmet. You cover his whole head in a helmet, but no, he'll be fine. It's one of those things where I'm sure he's going to be back playing for us really soon.
What would you say to Crows fans who perhaps fearing that he may miss the rest of the season? Are you confident he'll be back?
No, remain really positive, and that's what Kurt's doing, and that's what we're doing. I'm sure we're going to see him back really soon, and hopefully that's next week. But as I said, we'll make sure we make the right decision with that one. We're not going to you know, force him to go back out and play. He's got to be comfortable. The medical team have got to be comfortable, and as coaches, we've got to be comfortable with selecting him, knowing that he's going to be okay.
Just on that, if he gets the all clear from the docs and he's feeling okay, would you have any hesitation putting him straight back in? Or
No, if the medical team clear him and Kurt's comfortable to play, then I'll certainly support the medical team and Kurt.
Is there a chance that he might start second guessing and think, gee, I don't want to go to this contest? Or...
I don't think so. I think the white line fever that players have, as much as you maybe get a bit anxious about what potentially could happen, I think once you take the field, it sort of goes away, and you can't tiptoe through an AFL game anymore. And I'm sure once Kurt feels comfortable that that's what he's going to do, he's going to go out and play, that he'll play as hard as he has for all the matches beforehand.
How does it affect contract talks with Kurt at the moment?
I won't affect it at all.
So
If you can't read, it'd be very handy.
Yeah, slip it in front of him. You think, yeah, no, that doesn't affect our decision with him, and it shouldn't affect Kurt at all. So hopefully that happens soon as well.
Is there insurance that covers him in case he's out of football for a while?
I'm not sure of that. Yeah, I'm not. I'll have to check that one.
So is there a message to him that obviously this is happening with your concussions, but there's no pressure on in terms of the contract until you get that?
No, I haven't talked contracts with him. I don't think anyone's talked contracts with him this week. It's more about getting him feeling better, and as I said, he's showing signs of improvement. He was running today, feeling really good. A couple of quiet days over the weekend, and we're hoping that he comes back next week and jumping out of his skin, ready to play.
Obviously, Taylor Walker's available to come back in. Who's likely to replace Evie Otten? What are the options?
Well, Sam Shaw probably back in the mix again. You know, he missed last week with the eye injury. Luke Thompson's in good form in the SANFL, so we still have got the depth. We've still got players playing good SANFL footy. We might replace him with a small as well. So you know, we've got guys like Brown and Tambling who you know, Brown was unlucky to miss after his debut, and Tambling's in good form for Sturt in the SANFL. So we could go tall or small.
What can we expect to see from Taylor Walker with his tackling this weekend?
That's a good question. I know he's done a little bit of work, sort of one-on-one with our tackling coach, who doubles as our weights coach with the rugby background. But he's super fit. I'm looking forward to seeing him play because he's jumping out of his skin, and I know he feels like he wants to just get back out there and start playing good footy again. He was in great form when he got suspended. We showed some tackling today, actually, before training, of how we did it really well against West Coast on the weekend. So I guess the message for all of our players is if you're going to tackle to ground, you can't have any contact with the player's head.
So has Walker worked on his technique over those 3 weeks with Nick?
Yeah, he has. He's had a couple of little one-on-one sessions throughout the last 3 weeks, along with his normal program, just to ensure that he's not you know, with the head contact and driving players. But yeah, part of that's Tex, but I think we're all learning how to tackle better as well.
Is it with Tex, is it a technical issue, or is it just a mental thing? He just has to understand that when he's halfway through a tackle, not to drop him on the head?
A little bit of both, because we do love his aggression, and one of the real highlights of his form this season has been how aggressive he is in every contest. And but when you marry that up with a technique which we know is not perfect, then you're in trouble. So we've worked a little bit about on that, just controlling the aggression, but also trying to ensure that his technique's perfect as well.
He's obviously walking a tightrope with the suspensions he's had. How's he feeling about going into a game tackling?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question to see. It's a bit like in basketball when you got 4 fouls, you know, and you don't want a 5th. You just got to make sure that you still play on the edge, you still play with aggression. We're an aggressive side. We play contested ball, so we're all sort of walking the line a little bit. But we've just got to make sure with Taylor, he's best for us when he's out there playing. So he's got to adjust his technique, learn to control his aggression, and use it in the right way within the rules.
But your message obviously is still be aggressive, because obviously he's played great footy.
Definitely.
This year.
Oh yeah, I love the way he's playing, and it's going to be great to have him back.
what makes him such a good player, Brent?
Tex.
Yeah.
I think this year he's added a few more dimensions to his game. He's offensive and he's defensive, and he very rarely loses a one-on-one contest. So he just keeps putting himself where the ball is, and obviously he's a beautiful shot for goal. We've taken 63 marks in our forward 50 in the last 3 weeks, so we're averaging 20 plus marks a game without him and Kurt there for the majority of it. So we still are finding avenues towards goal. We're getting a great spread of goal kickers, which that's hard to plan for if you're in opposition. It's hard to scout, but Tex will certainly straighten us up this week. He'll give us a focal point forward.
We're still yet to see the best of him.
Oh yeah, he's still young and he's still improving. Loved his season so far. You know, he was leading the Coleman, I think, until he got suspended. So hopefully he comes in and kicks a few bags before the rest of the season's out.
Obviously, at the other end, Tom Hawkins, someone who you would have been involved with at Geelong, he's sort of in a bit of a similar stage in his development?
Yeah, obviously Hawkins, we've scouted him this week. He just keeps marking the ball. He's another one who his best is very good, you know. So we've got to make sure we've got a good player that goes to him, but also too we've got to ensure that we put pressure through their midfield. If you give Geelong's midfield time and space, they're really going to hurt you.
Do you think Hawkins really came of age in that grand final last year? It gave him a bit of confidence?
Oh, did he ever? Yeah. I mean, when Adelaide went down and someone needed to stand up, you know, a combination of Bartel and Hawkins in that forward line. It was I guess a game from that he just really stood up, and I guess you'll always remember that game, Tommy Hawkins, and hopefully doesn't play that well on the weekend.
So it'll be a nice battle within a battle, I guess, with Tex at one end and Tom Hawk at the other end this weekend.
Yeah, we've got some defenders in form though too. You know, Talia and Ben Rutten have had fantastic seasons, and you know, Adelaide and Hawkins v Talia and Rutten. It's going to be a great contest.
You mentioned it before, the marks inside 50. Are you excited about what your midfield can do when you get those big marking targets back? And I think they've almost learned, you know, to lower their eyes a bit and look more in the last 3 weeks.
And midfield's been in really good form. We've got a really red-hot midfield, you know, and our boys just keep going from strength to strength, and it'll be a great battle against Geelong's, you know, premiership midfield. You know, Corey, Bartel, Selwood, Kelly, Duncan, they're full of stars too. So we like our boys though as well, and we think it's going to be a great battle in that midfield. But we certainly are hitting targets forward of the ball, which has been a highlight of how we've been playing the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Obviously, it's a big match. Obviously, it's a big match because, you know, the premiership table. But what about for you personally, going back to Gardenia Park?
It's an interesting one, yeah. I feel good about it because it's a chance to go almost for me. You know, I was there 16 seasons as either a player or a coach, and I got some great memories there. It's my first time back there as the opposition for a long time. So sitting in the opposition's coach's box will be interesting for me, but I'm really looking forward to it. You know, it's my second home there for a long time, but couldn't be happier where I am now, and be a good chance to go back to Gardenia Park and beat Geelong. One of probably is the toughest road trip in footy.
Is this the first time you've been back since your appointment?
Yep. I'll have to work out which door to go in now and find my way to the opposition rooms, which will be a change. But no, it'll be nice. It won't last for long though. I'm pretty sure we'll get into the groove pretty quick, and another team that we've got to try and beat if we're going to maintain our spot on the ladder.
And it's a real advantage that knowing, you know, having worked with Chris and you know, the coaches.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But you know, most of our boys have played there before. We know how Geelong plays. They've been the envy of the competition for 5 years now, and our boys have watched them with great, I guess, interest and almost jealousy when you see them winning premiership after premiership. So it's a good chance for us, really good challenge to go over there. As I said, toughest road trip in footy, I reckon, and to beat Geelong at Geelong would be a great win for us if we can get it.
It's a pivotal game. It's a pivotal game, given that if you win, no other side's really going to catch you with the run you've got.
Oh no, the next game for us is always our next challenge, and the strength of the group's been the ability just to focus on the next contest, and we've kept that focus really narrow all season, and we won't look any further ahead than beating Geelong at Geelong this round. But if we win, that's fantastic. If we lost, we'll lick our wounds, we'll review, and we'll get on with the following week. But our focus will just be that first quarter at this stage.
But if you do lose, you've got other teams breathing down your neck. If you win, you've got that breathing space.
Yeah, you guys can talk about that. We'll just talk about that first contest and ensuring that we get away to a good start.
Sandy, you spoke about your red-hot midfield. You've got another young midfielder tucked away in the SANFL, Brad Crouch. How is he developing?
Outstanding. I do really like him, and I can't wait for next year. I know to see him play for us. I'm so glad we got him. You know, it was one of those risks. I know you take a 17-year-old prior to the draft, and his development this year with West Adelaide in the SANFL has been first class, and you know, we're teaching him, and he's getting a bigger, stronger body, and he's got a real head start on his AFL career by experiencing this year. So yeah, he's another one we can't wait to see in Crows colours next year.
How do you describe him as a
player? He's hard. He's a hard inside midfielder, but he can probably play at half back or half forward as well. So he's got a great tank, great engine. He's really tough. You know, Ballarat boy, loves it hard. So I'm sure he's going to be a really key player for us in the short term, but also long term with this footy club.
It'd be a chance to play round 1 next year.
Big chance, yeah, big chance.
It's a milestone game for Joel Corey. Do you think that'll have any effect?
Yeah, I wish it wasn't. 250 for Joel Corey. I love him as a player. I used to love playing with him and then love coaching him. Just wish it wasn't 250 this week, but I'm really proud of him. He's such a good player, and he's achieved so much in his career. 2-time best and fairest winner, all Australians, 3 premierships. Really, really happy for him that he can reach this milestone, and I just hope he doesn't play well on Saturday.
Is he almost one of the worst blokes to be coming up against in a really significant milestone, given the bloke and footballer that he is?
Oh yeah, he's really hard to match up on. He's tough and he's aggressive, and it's going to require a really good player to go to him. Just hope he has a poor day.
So is there anything different about the way they went about it last week compared to the previous weeks?
They look good, yeah. Their pressure around the ball was great in the first quarter, and they made Essendon, turn the ball over. And we know Geelong's best is the best. Geelong's best is the best in the competition, and if they play well, they're almost impossible to stop. But we think we're going okay too. We're playing some good footy, and we're putting pressure on the opposition, and we're moving the ball pretty well. So, having said that, though, Geelong will need to be at our very best to win.